Taylor Swift might announce Reputation tonight.
My brand new album. It's called The Tortured Poets Department.
Oh my god! I am getting a tattoo today. Karma is the guy on the Chiefs. This could be the double album theory. I decided I'm gonna be waking up at 5 a.m. to drive to LA to the Tortured Poets Department library. In the psych ward.
Okay, everyone calm down.
Guys, the orchard is cut. Is that a new outfit? What? She's singing Cardigan on the house? So high school. Call 911. I need to go see this concert now. I am going to create the lover bodysuit, but make it speak now. It will do. Phase 1 is done. The Eras Tour vlogs are back. So welcome to our home, also known as Girl's House. So much has changed since a year ago. So here we are again, end of another year. So here we are again, year 3 of making this video. Here we are, the 4th year of me doing this video. Absolutely crazy. This goal I'm just gonna throw out there. Attend an Eras Tour show in 2024. I truly cannot believe this is the 5th time I'm sitting down to film my end of year video. I feel like out of all of the years, this year I was most unprepared to film this video, and I think that says a lot about this year. Usually this is one of my favorite videos to make every single year, and the first year I did it, I didn't expect to continue to do it every single year, but I'm so glad that I have, so that I have a tangible way to see how much I've grown and reflect on all the years before. But truly, I've been having the most difficult time trying to set goals or think about goals for next year, because reflecting on the goals that I set last year, things turned out so differently in good ways as well as not so good ways, falling short of goals. So I feel like sometimes when you fall short of goals that you've set that you thought that you could accomplish, it's very discouraging to kind of now set goals for the next year. I think I look back at those other videos and see how excited and how hopeful and motivated I was, and this year I just, for some reason, am having a very hard time becoming motivated going into the new year. I feel like in the early days of growing the YouTube channel and the uncertainty, but also like there was so much hope and excitement and possibility. I just remember just feeling so fulfilled by the process of everything, and I feel like last year I hit a lot of goals that I had been working towards since the very beginning of starting my YouTube channel, and after I hit certain goals, I felt really lost about where I wanted to go, what I want to do, just pretty lost. I feel like this year I've just been pretty lost. Although I feel like you wouldn't quite know that, just because every time I'm on here talking about Taylor Swift and doing vlogs and everything, I am putting forth a very happy, enthusiastic, excited kind of persona, which I do love. I love that I could come on here and just kind of escape for a little while, but I felt this year it was harder and harder to get in front of the camera, get myself to film things, because I just wasn't feeling it. And I feel like this year the burnout was very prominent, and I have been through the phases of burnout as every content creator does, but this year just hit different. I don't know what it was, and I also wasn't getting like the validation that I was so used to when you start from nothing and you're growing and and I've had like a slow growth on my YouTube, which I'm really thankful for, and I've loved the journey, every single part of it. But eventually this year I kind of hit this plateau of like, okay, I'm not exponentially growing anymore. I'm thinking a lot about views, and I'm not living up to my potential, and like I'm going backwards, and I just have been all over the place this year. So I think what I'm getting at is that closing out this year, I can, two things can be true. I can have had, so many amazing memories this year, and I've experienced things that are once in a lifetime, and I got to go to the Eras tour, and I traveled a lot, and I made a lot of memories with my friends, and there was a lot of good things that happened. But at the same time, I feel like I was also so lost, and coming towards the end of the year, I'm feeling slightly unfulfilled and unsatisfied with the goals that I had set last year. And so why don't we just go through that right now, shall we? Okay, I am currently editing this video, and I just thought I needed to jump in here because I feel like I was being a bit of a Debbie Downer in the first half of this video, and I really want to recognize all the amazing things that happened this year and all the things that I was able to accomplish. I have a glass of champagne for the new year. But going into this year, we had no idea what was going to happen with Taylor, and Tortured Poets was one of the biggest surprises, and it was so much fun to get to go through a full new album release during the tour, seeing that she added it to the set list, and all of the Eras Tour mashups was so much fun, and I truly did not think I was going to be able to make it to one of the concerts, and I just cannot believe that somehow I manifested it into existence, and I was able to go to London and do this amazing trip with my friend Lauren. We went to Paris. I had never been to Paris or London before, and that was so much fun. I got to visit my family in Scotland, which I don't get to see them that often, so it was so nice to connect with family over there and also just meet so many amazing people along the way. And then I got to go to Miami with my other friends. That was such an experience. Like, all of these things I never thought I was gonna get to do this year. I'm just so grateful that I got to do it and experience the Eras Tour in 2024, the final leg of the tour, and then ending in Vancouver in that very, very last show. It was the perfect ending to this chapter of my life, and it was such a roller coaster and such an amazing adventure. I am so grateful to live in the same lifetime as Taylor Swift and to have been able to go to the Eras Tour at this point in my life, being, you know, in my mid-20s and just truly just living life to the fullest extent. So I am very, very blessed and thankful that I got to be a part of it. I also got to check off a few other things on my bucket list. I got to go on a trip to Glacier National Park in Montana with my friend, and it was just one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to. I love hiking, and I really want to do more hiking and more adventuring in the new year. There's so many parks on my list. One of my best friends got married. I got to be a bridesmaid for the first time, and it was so much fun. We had a bachelorette party. The wedding was so beautiful. I turned 27, which is insane. I don't feel old enough to be 27, but I feel like going into the later half of my 20s, I can really reflect and realize that even though the past, 5 years have been absolutely so chaotic and emotionally all over the place and filled with so much unknowns and just really high highs and then going through a lot of challenges, but it is totally supposed to be that way, and that this is the time for me to just make memories with my friends and just not get too down on myself about where I am supposed to be in life and just kind of letting things happen. So yeah, I just wanted to come on here and say that because I feel like I wasn't giving myself enough time to reflect on all the good things that happened this year. And also I got to speak at a college at a Taylor Swift course, which is insane. I got to go to UC Berkeley and talk about Taylor Swift and her songwriting in this class that was all about artistry and entrepreneurship of Taylor Swift. So that was like one of the coolest things, and I didn't expect that to come as an opportunity, but it was so much fun. And also just in my channel, like this year I had the least amount of growth in subscribers, but I, for the first time, felt like I could truly make this my full-time job, and I had the most successful year with my income coming from YouTube. I was able to create a Patreon channel this year, which is something that I've been thinking about and a little bit scared to do, but I'm so glad that I did it because now I can truly make this a full-time job and continue to be here for you guys in the best way possible and continue to show up every week. So anyways, back to the video. Cheers. I have peppermint tea today, no coffee. I am becoming a tea girly in 2025. I've already had a head start this winter season. I've just needed something warm, something that I feel like is better for me than coffee or hot chocolate, and so that is where we have the tea coming in. Tea is something I'm taking into the new year with me. So last year I set 5 goals, and I feel like every year I've set 5 goals for the YouTube channel, and so let's reflect on those, shall we? So I basically didn't hit any of my goals, which is crazy and not something I'm used to because every single year I have been able to at least hit most of them or some of them. So the first goal that I had was to hit 200,000 subscribers, which was just kind of a number I chose. I feel like now, I was working towards 100K for the longest time, and once I hit it, I really didn't pay attention anymore to the numbers, and I still kind of feel that way. I feel like as long as I like what I'm doing, the people that follow me like what I'm doing, and people are still watching my videos, the subscriber count to me doesn't have the same validation that it or like importance, like the arbitrary number doesn't have that importance anymore, but I do always want to look towards like a goal and work towards something. So that is something that I will probably hit this year. I knew that last year that was kind of like a reach, but you never know, you know? So this year I definitely am hoping to hit 200 in the first half of the year, hopefully. But underneath that I wrote, continue to grow, don't be complacent. And I feel like I did continue to grow, but I did feel a little bit complacent this past year. I feel like I'm finally kind of accepting that it's okay not to hit your goals in a certain time frame. I feel like this year I was just realizing that you are not going to hit every goal you've ever set. Goals are also going to change. Goals that I've set, life changes, the things you want in life change, and so therefore your goals are going to change. It's okay to fail. I feel like the past 4 years, that has been really tough for me to not excel in every goal that I've ever set, because I was such like an academically driven person when I was younger all the way through college. Like I just always needed validation from hitting goals, getting good grades, all of that. And so to not hit some of my goals this year was a tough pill to swallow for sure. That doesn't mean I can't hit them ever. It's just either gonna take more time or I need to change them, you know? Okay, so then I said streamline other platforms, post more on TikTok and Instagram. I feel like I have posted more on TikTok, and that's something that I want to continue to do in the new year because short form content is where it's at. I know that everything is a pendulum and it always comes swinging back, and you know, people's attention spans have gotten shorter, but even TikTok has increased their video time amount to like 10 minutes, and so I'm hoping to reach more people over there on TikTok. And I don't know, I feel like that's a platform I haven't dedicated too much time to because, you know, my main income stream is YouTube, but I don't know. You might see me more on TikTok this year. My goal was to hit 30K followers on TikTok by the end of the year, and I might do that. We'll see, but I definitely want to grow on TikTok for sure. That is if it doesn't get banned, which it might. So, but I will be on YouTube forever as long as it is there. So my second goal was to get an LLC for my business, my channel, and kind of like run things like a business. And I would say I achieved half of this goal, but this is one of those goals that changed. I met with an accountant. Woo, that was one of my goals. I got an accountant, and he basically just told me that I don't really need an LLC right now, at least. And he said that I could just create a business bank account. That way I can run all of my business expenses through that. I paid quarterly taxes this year, which was very daunting. And I recently just went through and did all of my books, all of my income and expenses for the year, all the grown-up stuff that so overwhelming. Of course, I waited till the last like couple weeks of the year to get that together, but we still did it. And going into the new year, I'm excited to start running things more professionally, keeping like, you know, my business work stuff separate from my personal stuff and everything. So I feel like I kind of achieved that goal. The third one was get invited to an event. I just feel like I haven't made it into that influencer, not circle, but status, I guess. Like, I don't have a ton of followers on Instagram or TikTok, so it kind of makes sense why I wouldn't get invited to anything, but it would just be cool to be invited to some kind of like influencer event or something. But again, not something I care too much about because like the work that I do on YouTube is more important to me than some of like the influencers. I don't even feel like an influencer at all. I just feel like I'm a digital creator. So when people like loop me in with influencer, I just feel like that title doesn't feel correct to me. But who knows? Maybe someday I'll get invited to something. If any of the brands want to invite me to anything. I feel like that's something that also weighs on me sometimes, that I'm not, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like I'm kind of feel left out sometimes, or like I don't have that many online online friends, or because I don't get invited to things, I don't feel like a real creator, or like sometimes I get discouraged or like compare myself to others. I don't know. It is a bit of a hit to my confidence, I feel like sometimes, but yeah, that's something that I struggle with sometimes, feeling like imposter syndrome, I will say, because I feel like to be like a real creator, you get invited to stuff, you have all these internet friends, and I will say that this year talking more with people in my industry has been so helpful and very important, because I don't have any coworkers. I don't have anyone I can ask if I have questions, and so Ali Sheehan has been so helpful and supportive. I am so glad that we connected last year, because every time I have a question I can ask her. Just there's certain things in YouTube and in this kind of industry that are tough and only the other people in it can understand. So it's been helpful talking to her. And also recently I have been talking with Alexis, who is 1989 MP3 on Instagram. And I feel like connecting not only through Taylor Swift and her music, but also just kind of the online community has been so important and just very validating that we all have the same insecurities and stressors and like goals and aspirations, and we're all just, you know, trying our best. So it has been really nice to connect with other Swifties on the internet that are also creators. And that's something I want to continue into the new year as well. Number 4 was get a new vlogging camera or learn how to use Procreate. Learning how to use Procreate, that will transfer over. I still want to learn how to use Procreate to make thumbnails and graphics and all of that. But I did get a new camera for my concerts, and it is one of my favorite purchases of the entire year, because I was able to document all the concerts I went to in the second half of the year with this camera, and it has an amazing quality, amazing zoom, and I was able to film the Eras tour in really high quality so that I could look back on these videos forever and ever. And also I just wanted to create a higher quality concert vlog for the people watching, because the thing is I can't take this camera into the concerts because it has a detachable lens. It's considered professional. And so I needed like a smaller, like point and shoot camera that had a lens that was attached to the camera itself. And so if you are looking for the best concert camera ever, I highly recommend it. It's the Panasonic Lumix ZS70, and it has a 30 times zoom. I got it on Amazon. It's often out of stock, but every now and then it comes back into stock, and luckily I was able to get one this year. So that has been one of my favorite things that I have done. In the equipment area, looking into this year, I think I want to get a new microphone for my guitar videos so that the quality of my music content is higher, especially now that I'm on Patreon, posting over there every single week, doing a lot more guitar content. I want to improve the audio quality over there. And my 5th one was host a Swiftie event, but here's the thing, I thought of this and I really thought I was going to be able to make it happen, but a lot of stuff came up in the second half of the year and I had no time. The stars just weren't aligning for this, and I really wanted to do it in the fall, but I ended up having a lot of traveling happen in the fall. We went on our trip to London in the UK, and then we went on our trip to Miami. I just had a lot going on. My friend was getting married, and so that didn't happen, but I'm really hoping that it can happen this year and that I can have other Swiftie creators collab and we can have a group meetup or something happening this year. I really would love to do collaborations this year with other creators. Just kind of, you know, make more friends online for sure. So I kind of was like adding in some of my goals for this year as I was going through these, but I feel like some of these goals I just kind of threw out there because again, I didn't really know what my goals were. I was very lost coming into this year, not knowing what direction I should go in. But let's get into my goals for this year that I wrote down quite literally 10 minutes ago. This year I only have 4 goals because I genuinely am still figuring it out. I need to have
have a real brainstorming session, and maybe I need to ask ChatGPT. I hear a lot of people are using ChatGPT to plan out their vision board and their goals and how to achieve them. AI kind of scares me a little bit, obviously, but I feel like it can be a good tool sometimes, and I have been using it a little more often to kind of, you know, help with little things in life. So number one is going to be the same, hit 200,000 subscribers, and I think this is definitely attainable, but this again was one of those goals that, similar to 100K, that took me, you know, 3 years to hit. To hit the next 100K in less time than the first 100K, I feel like is kind of achieving a goal in itself. But yeah, I do want to keep growing, and I don't want to get comfortable. I feel like when we become comfortable, we aren't growing as much personally, and so even in our goals, I always just want to keep thinking that the sky is the limit and there's no ceiling on like the things that I can achieve. So for number 2, I wrote find joy in creating again, because I feel like I've gotten away from the why, and also I've kind of lost the sparkle a little bit. I feel like I watched the first, you know, couple years of me sitting down and talking about my goals, and I was just so locked in and so sure of myself that this was what I wanted to do and so excited about it. I want to be able to think of a video idea and be so excited about creating it that it doesn't even feel like I'm working, because this year I felt like a lot of the times I was kind of going through the motions, and I want to feel like more inspired and just, I don't know, kind of like how I felt in the beginning stages of YouTube. So just kind of getting back to why I'm doing this, and also just finding the joy that I first found when I chose this as my career. Number 3 is a big one that is going to help me achieve my goals. Number 3 is have a posting schedule. I have not had a posting schedule in 2 years, and I feel like that has been pretty detrimental to my routine, never knowing when I'm posting a video, if the video is gonna be done, and a lot of it is because I had a lot of traveling going on. I had to switch around my posting schedule. I basically didn't have one. I'd make a video and I'd put it out the next day. As soon as I was done editing a video, I would just schedule it or try to post it as soon as possible. That created lots of sleep deprivation, and I can't even tell you how many all-nighters I had to do this year. It's just sickening, honestly. And for me, my focus has been so bad this year that usually ends up being the case, where I have a hard time focusing during the day, and by the time it gets to the evening, I am just locking in at like 5 p.m. and I spend most of the night editing and working, and so my work-life balance was really, really bad this year. So we're trying to fix that with a posting schedule. I haven't quite decided what day of the week, but it will definitely be in the mornings so that I can, you know, schedule it in advance. So if I could just get a schedule together where I post one video a week on the same day at the same time, I think it will be better for all of us. Okay, so number 4 is I just wrote connect. Because this is such an independent job, I feel like sometimes it's hard for me to actually connect with the people watching my videos. I am always in my Instagram DMs talking with you guys and in the comments section. I feel like it is so hard sometimes though, because at the end of the day, it's just me alone here. And I feel like even though I know that like thousands of people watch my videos every week, I feel like sometimes it's hard for me to feel connected. And I feel like I was super connected early on. So this year I want to get back to connecting with my community, creating content that they want to watch. I feel like that's where I felt the most disconnect. Like I don't know exactly. I feel like I'm guessing what everybody wants me to post or make videos about, and so I really want to connect more, talk with you guys more, figure out what it is we're doing here and what you guys want to see from me. So that's one part of that. But then also I feel like I realized in the past week that I really do need to connect more in person in my everyday life with literally anyone. I need to like kind of get out more because I feel like I've become such an introvert the past, however many years after COVID and all of that stuff. I felt like I've become such an introvert when I used to kind of crave connection with other people more often, and I feel like I need to make more friends in my day-to-day life. I have so many great friends, but none of them live here, and I feel like it's so hard to make new friends in your 20s, but that's something I really want to do this year, especially because my sister's getting married and moving away. Now I'm really gonna have to be forced to try to connect with other people because I don't have her around as my default. And along with connect, this is where I was talking about earlier how I really want to have a meetup with other Swifties online at some point. It doesn't have to be a big thing. So I'm thinking probably towards the end of the year, I would love to do a meetup or something like that. This year I did get to meet a lot of people at the concerts, and I went to 3 concerts this year, and I feel like I met even more people than when I went to all of the concerts last year. It is truly the thing that keeps me going, thinking about all these people who met me and were so warm and friendly and nice and telling me they followed me for a long time or that I taught them guitar. That just really hits me hard because as somebody who in high school was very, I guess I was just like a sad kid, I guess. I didn't have the best friends. I was very lonely, and the only thing that would keep me going is playing guitar and learning Taylor Swift songs on guitar, and that was kind of like my escape. And so to hear other people share with me that I was able to help them learn something like that, this lifeline that is playing music and listening to music, and we are all so similar in the fact that obviously music means a lot to us, and to see that I am able to help other people is the greatest gift and something that I didn't believe was possible for me to do as a career, but I'm so blown away by what I've been able to do. It just makes me so happy when these little girls come up to me and I can see myself in each and every one of them, and it makes me want to cry like every single time. But yeah, to have any kind of impact like that at all is so comforting to me and very fulfilling, and it makes me feel like I am doing the right thing with my life and that what I do is important. And I feel like sometimes I lose that a little bit. Like I feel like sometimes I'm like, what am I doing? Do people actually care what I'm posting about and everything? So connecting in person at these concerts was something that was so important this year, I feel like, and really kept me going. So thank you to each and every person who came up and said hi, traded bracelets, everything. To everybody who's ever sent me a nice DM on Instagram, a nice comment on my YouTube channel. If you've sent me friendship bracelets, if you've sent me letters, I've gotten some of the cutest little handwritten letters from people. That's something I'm going to be working on this year. I really do need to get a PO box so that I can connect that way with you guys and we can send friendship bracelets back and forth and whatnot. And instead of a 5th goal, I decided I'm going to share with you some of my personal goals for the year, because I feel like my main goal is to kind of separate work and personal, because I feel like because I like my job, I do it all the time and I don't really have a separation. And so my goal this year is to kind of have a work-life balance, make it calm and make it just a part of my life and not like something that is taking over every aspect of it. My first goal is to learn how to play piano, and I do know some piano chords and whatnot, but I really do want to sit down and learn piano, because if I am expecting all these people to learn guitar from me from scratch, I should have the willpower and the dedication and the motivation to sit down and learn an instrument that I truly don't know the ins and outs of like I do for guitar. So I feel like I am inspired by everyone learning guitar from me to learn something new. So I definitely need to get my keyboard out and just do the thing. The next thing is cooking. I need to learn how to cook. I have avoided it my whole life. Even in college, I didn't really cook anything. I can make tacos, I can make pasta, but anything that involves more than 1 or 2 pots, not for me. But I really do want to learn how to cook stuff at home because 1, it's gonna be healthier for me, for sure. And 2, I'm 27 and I feel like it's a skill that I really need to have going into my adult life. And you know, I want to get good at it so the food that I cook tastes good. So that is a goal of mine. The third one is to stay put for a while. I definitely had a bolter year. I was off to the races. I was all over the place and it was very chaotic. Lovely. I love traveling and I love experiencing new things, but I feel like I need to stay put for a little bit, plan for my future. I don't know if this is what turning 27 does to you, but I feel like I had a moment of clarity when I turned 27 that now is the time for me to get my life together and really start thinking about my long-term future. Yeah, and just kind of relax. Take a deep breath and just recharge. I feel like that's gonna be my theme of this year is recharge because I feel like I've been burnt out to the max this year. Oh, sleep more as part of that. No more all-nighters. I'm saying that right now. No more staying up all hours of the night to edit a video. It's okay. It can wait till the next day. And I'm sure I would be way more productive if I was well rested. So yes, sleep more. I would love to know what some of your guys' goals are for the new year. I do love New Year's. I love a new beginning. I love a new reset, refresh, you know. I just love that there's like a specific start point where you're now going to implement new lifestyle changes, and I don't know, it just marks a new beginning, and we all deserve a new beginning sometimes. So I am looking forward to the next year. I want to thank you guys so much for sticking through it with me, coming along on all of the different adventures this year. I have truly just been in awe of the things that I am lucky enough to be able to do, and I always just think about my high school self, you know, writing Taylor Swift lyrics in my notebooks and going home and staying up late playing guitar. And if she could see what my current job is, she would be just floored. So every time I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, I'm lost, I don't feel like I'm successful enough, I just think about her, and it really does help. So as you were going into the new year, reflect on your younger self and maybe some of the goals you had as a kid and how proud they would be of you right now. Now that the Eras tour is over, I kind of feel like I can take a deep breath. I know that sounds crazy because it was one of the best adventures of my lifetime, but I am excited for a break and all of the excitement. I'm excited for Taylor to take a break. She deserves it. I am looking forward to the final 2 re-recordings of Debut and Reputation. I'm excited for what's to come. So I encourage you as we go into the new year to just sit down and like write down some of your goals. My sister is excited to write down her ins and outs for the year. So for me, ins would be more sleep, more tea, connection, routine. And the outs are staying up all night, self-doubt, you know. And don't feel like you have to do it all now. I'm gonna take the first month of January to just really like reflect and think about what I want to do in the year. But anyways, I'm going to be making a vision board, so if you're interested in seeing what I'm putting on my vision board, let me know. I might do a video about it. Again, I am so happy you are here. If you've made it this far, you are truly carrying the average view duration, and I appreciate it. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next year. Bye.